Over the last 2 decades, there has been a significant increase in peaked interest where climate change is concerned globally. The interest has intensified twofold within the Caribbean, with local leaders looking for ways to combat this phenomenon. One such avenue is renewable energy.
Location, AC Hotel Kingston, or if you want to call it AC Marriott Hotel Kingston. Event, 8th Caribbean Sustainable Energy Forum. Looking at renewable energy and of course, the mainstay, EVs. Let's check it out.
I think the first thing is really around the cost of doing business, of transporting, pursuing transportation, to the extent that people can see that it is cheaper, easier, then they will tend to make the change. And then obviously a part of the responsibility of government, one of the responsibilities of governments, as well as institutions like Caribbean Development Bank, is to help to build the awareness about how individual actions impact broader goals, such as the climate objective. So a combination of personal benefit and an awareness of the benefits and the impact of action or practices on the broader environment, which will ultimately affect all of us anyway, will help persons to make the right decision.
I think one of the great things about electric mobility is that there are a lot of great lessons that are already out there from the world, whether we're talking about Europe, China, Oceania, North America. A lot of problems and sort of like need for regulation and standards have already been solved. Really and truly is for us to understand them first and foremost, and then apply them to our region specifically.
Many stakeholders are now intensifying efforts to maximize this source of energy in various sectors, from agro-processing to manufacturing and many other areas. It's unquestionable that residential homes are the leaders in the acquisition and use of renewable energy. But one major area is that of transportation.
The challenge a lot of people have had so far is that electric mobility is so new. There's not a lot of expertise domestically here in the Caribbean. And so, there isn't a guiding set of local knowledge necessarily outside of, a few of us in the industry that have been working both here and abroad that we can bring into it. But, CCRE and CARICOM have put a lot of work and time and effort and energy in creating the regional electric vehicle strategy, the REVs, and that really can form a guiding document to help first identify the different areas where policy and regulation are needed, and then to bring in some of those best practices, not only internationally, but for some of the markets domestically, like Barbados, Jamaica, Bahamas, that have already been successful, and use some of those lessons learned to make the job a lot easier for everybody else who perhaps isn't quite as far along in the journey.
One of the important things is to make sure that as we are implementing projects, as we are trying to make our transition for energy use more sustainable, that women are represented in the sector, and that women who are A lot of times the primary users of energy, whether it's cooking, cleaning, whatever it is that's happening in the home, that's their interests are represented in any projects that we're doing. So we need women to be a part of the conversation in the planning and the execution of projects, and also we need to represent the needs of women as we are doing the energy transition.
Motor vehicle buyers are now open to the prospect of ditching petrol-run vehicles for solar-powered ones.
So, I mean, the cost of electricity in Jamaica really depends on the rate. So let's say you're on a residential rate, on a time of use rate, you'll find that there are better times to plug in your car to buy electricity from JPS than other times. And that's designed to really help the grid be stable. They don't want everybody coming in at 6 o'clock in the afternoon and plugging in all their electric cars, because obviously that's a strain on the grid. So what JPS has introduced are time of use rates in order to shift some of that charging time towards later in the night. The great thing about electric cars and our charging stations is that you can plug in the car physically and set a time and say, I don't want you to start charging until 10 o'clock when power is cheaper. So those technologies are available today, both in the cars and on our charging infrastructure.
With the skepticism of solar-powered energy vehicles diminishing daily, the market has begun to see a great influx of these cars on a global scale. The Caribbean is not to be undone.
So, electric mobility is really only as clean as the grid that you power the vehicles from. But of course, with distributed generation, you can power anything from the sun using solar panels and inverters. So this basically enables us to cut carbon out of the equation completely.
So with more meaningful desire and drive, the Caribbean is fully on board with protecting their environs by going green with solar energy. The sustainability of the Caribbean is far in advance with the shift in mindset to secure a cleaner, safer planet. I am Melvin Pennant. Thanks for watching.